If you're looking to break into government contracting, one of the biggest factors could be where you live, and this is often overlooked by many small businesses. Today, I'm revealing the top 5 states for government contracting. What states have the opportunities? What states have the spending? What are they buying? Whether you're a small business owner, a consultant, you're in the trades, this information is going to be very valuable for you and could be the key difference in winning more contracts and scaling your business faster. My name is Rick Howard. I'm a former government procurement officer. I managed over $82 billion in contracts for the Department of Defense. My job was putting companies like yours on contract for the government. And now I train companies, sales executives on the art of selling to the government. And look, where you live may very much matter as far as government contracting is concerned. So let's get right into it. Top 5 states as far as federal government contracting is concerned. State number 5, Florida. I ran a recent research report on federal spending by state going from fiscal year 22, 23, and 24. Florida came in 5th from the top with $26.7 billion in government contracts awarded to small businesses. So that's something key here. This is only small business spending. Relationships win contracts. I know this sounds counterintuitive in the federal game, but it is extremely important to be able to go to events, to talk to the acquisition shops that are putting companies on contract. Find out about opportunities when they're in the market research phase, so as far ahead of the solicitation as we can. So if we have the ability to go to in-person meetings, this can dramatically affect the outcome of your government contracting efforts. Now, for some businesses that are local, that don't have a huge team, you want to know that there are actually contracts that are happening in your state that you can go to, for instance, industry days or site surveys. So where this is happening is very important. The 4th state for most federal spending is Texas. Now, Texas spent $29.7 billion on contracts. Now, this is really no surprise to me, as there are many military bases located in the state of Texas. And just a fun fact, I also ran which agencies spend the most money on small business contracts, and by an extreme measure, the answer is the Department of Defense. So in this study, the Department of Defense spent $278.4 billion on small business contracts. The VA was number 2 with $37.9 billion in contracts. And the Department of Health and Human Services came in at number 3 with $34.26 billion in contracts for small businesses. That's just an added bonus, just so you have an idea of who's doing the purchasing in these states. Now it's time for state number 3. Probably no surprise to a lot of you, Maryland. The heart of federal contracting is Washington, D.C., and states surrounding that tend to have a lot of government contracting actions happening. You have a lot of federal agencies there. You have military bases. Obviously, we have the nation's capital, the president, Congress, all of this. So no surprise that Maryland is number 3 at $48.7 billion spent. Number 2, can you guess what it is? California. California has $51.4 billion spent over the past 3 years in federal contracting actions. And look, California's economy is bigger than a lot of countries in the world today. So no surprise. And by the way, not only does California have a lot of different industries there, but they have a lot of naval stations. They have a lot of military bases. They have a lot of federal contracting dollars that are spent in the state of California. And this brings us to the number 1 state in the United States for federal spending. And it's not my state of Massachusetts or my sister state of New Hampshire, sadly. It is Virginia. Virginia, $89.5 billion spent in federal contracting for small businesses. Now, how can you use this? We know the top 5 states. I would say that if you are a small business, especially if you provide a service and you're kind of bound by distance due to size or whatever, then these 5 states have a tremendous amount of spending, and you should absolutely take a look at what type of opportunities are going to be there for you. Now, does that mean that if you live in Massachusetts that you shouldn't look at federal contracting? No, it doesn't mean that at all. In fact, this matters a lot more for companies that just have to get in a car and drive to the job site and put a roof on a building, or put maybe their own services. Maybe they have a small team of people and they want that to be localized. If, for instance, in the Boston area, we have a lot of software companies and tech companies out here, it's less important to be located in the same area. Now, we can still drive in-person meetings. We can do a lot of Zoom, but we really want to focus on being able to go to some of these events, meet some of the people in the agencies and offices that will be putting you on contract. This is really how we move the needle. One of the best sales executives I've ever met in this space said, if I had to boil down how to sell to the government into one sentence, it's get meetings. That individual was right. And hopefully this video about the top 5 states for federal contracting gives you some insight as to whether or not your state is a good one for targeting these federal contracts. So whether you're a business or you're a consultant that's helping these businesses, I think this is going to be valuable. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Don't forget, go to govclose.com. Check out our training if you want to learn how to sell to the government, if you want to train your sales team, if you just want to break into this space, get a high 6-figure salaried position, or start a consulting company. Govclose.com will help you get there. Peace out.